Hello, so we want to provide a solution to this quadratic equation problem that we have on the board. Right, so we want to solve this using completing the square method. So completing the square method. Right? So from this, you need to make sure that your A is unity. So divide through by 3. So divide this by 3, divide this by 3. Also divide this by 3, divide this by 3. Hence you have x squared minus 17 over 3 x minus 2 equal to 0. Right? So you bring down these 2 to this side, you have x squared minus 17 over 3x. Good. Equal to 2. This will be equal to 2 now because when this sign comes to this side, changes to what? Addition. You do what? You take half of b, you square it and add it in both sides. So half of b, you square it and multiply it in both sides. So b is what? B is minus 17 over 3. Right? So everything here over 2. This implies minus 17 over 3 divided by 2, which is equal to minus 17 over 3 times what? 1 over 2. This implies equal to minus 17 over 6. But remember, you are squaring everything here. You are squaring. So you are squaring this. So we add it in both sides. If we add it in both sides, you have what? You have x squared minus 17 over 3x plus minus 17 over 6 squared equal to 2 plus minus 17 over 6 squared. So from this left-hand side, check the variables that have square. This and this, right? To bring them together. Hence, you have x minus 17 over 6 squared. If you expand this, you still get the same thing. This will now expand this further to have 2 plus 17 raised to the power 2 is what? 17 times 17 give you 289. So you have 289. Yeah. Over what? Over 36. Yeah. So minus times minus will give you plus. Hence, we simplify further. If we simplify further, you have the square root of let's bring this down first. X minus 17 over 6 square. Then for this side, square root is the LCM is 36. So 6 divided by 1 36 times 2 will give you what? 72, right? 72 plus 36 divided by 36 is 1. 1 times 281. 289 will give you 289. Hence, you have x minus 17 over 6 square equal to 72 plus 289. 72 plus 289. 361. 361 over 36. Right? To eliminate this square here, you take the square root of both sides, and if you do that, you have x minus 17 over 6 equal to plus or minus square root of 361 over 36. Right? Yeah. Hence, you bring this minus 17 to this side, you have x equal to 17 over 6 plus or minus square root of 361 over 6. Is this a perfect square? Let me check if we can have a perfect square. Square root of 361. It's 19. Oh, we have a perfect square here. To give you 19. To give you 19. Right? Yeah. So hence, from this, since they have the same thing in common, you can actually take this will be now be equal to 17 plus or minus 19 over 6. So from this point now, it's either x is equal to 17, you separate the signs, plus 19 over 6, or 17 minus 19 over 6. If you solve this thing further, you have what? 17 plus 19, that's 6 divided by 6 to give you 6. X is equal to what? 6. Or 17 minus 19 will give you minus 2. Minus 2 divided by 6 is what? So minus 2 over 6. It will not give you minus 1 over 3. Hence you have minus 1 over 3. Minus 1 over 3. As simple as that. As simple as that. First of all, let me also confirm using our calculator that this is actually correct. So what's our A? Our A is 3, our B is minus 17, and our C is minus 6. So A is 6 and minus 1 over 3. You can see that x1 is 6, right? And our x2, another value of x is minus 1 over 3. So we are correct. And also, you can also use different method. You can use the general formula method or factorization method or even graphical method. Let's also solve this using maybe the formula method. Let's solve this using the formula method. Formula method is x equal to minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. What do? You not plug in the values of a, b, c. What's the value of a here? Remember, the general form of quadratic equation is x squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. All right? So from here, what's our a? Our a is 3. Our b is minus 17. Our c is minus 6. What do? X is equal to, only plug in the value of a, b, and c inside this formula, right? So we call this formula method. Formula method. So we can actually call this star. We can actually call this star. Right? So if you plug this in, here we have minus b minus 17 plus or minus minus 17 raised to the power 2 minus 4 times a, which is 3, times b, times c, which is minus 6, all over 2a. 2 times a, what's our a? Times 3. Hence, to simplify this further to give what? Minus times minus will give you plus 17. Plus or minus 17 raised to the power 2 will give you what? 17 times 17 will give you 289. Minus times minus will give you plus. Hence, 4 times 3 times 6. 4 times 3 times 6 will give you 72. So 289 plus 72 will give you what? Well, first of all, here we have 6. Hence, you have, from here you have 361. Square root of 361 will give you what? 19. 17 plus or minus 19 over 6. You can see that we just arrived to this point. Hence, with this also, x is equal to 6 or minus 1 over 2. If we continue to simplify this further, 1 over 3, I mean. Likewise, other method, if you decide to use any other method, you still get the same thing. As simple as that.